right. One moment. I'm trying to figure out how to work this thing. Search. Been a while since I did one of these things. Not a fan of doing these things, but okay. Wow, look at Sid.
All right, let me see how to. Oh, that's not gonna work. Let's see. Who else is on here?
I can't see anything because I don't know where my glasses are at the moment. Maybe we should have done this on a Zoom call or thing, and then we could all be in here chatting. I don't know how all this works.
We're
new
just
here.
figuring it out.
Yeah, you're gonna listen to us ramble to ourselves.
Let me turn this shit up.
Good morning. It's
Good
snowing out.
afternoon. Good evening.
It's some crazy shit. I am not a fan of snow.
Wow, look at my hair from going to the
Looks
store.
great.
Fantastic.
It's a
I just
nice antenna.
I just walked to Fred Meyer. Fred Meyer disappoints me every time I go in there, so I don't even know why I bother to go in there.
It's all the same. You just gotta lower your expectations. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm burning some cedar because it smells really nice.
Cedar.
And apparently it
Did you get that at Cedar Mountain Drums?
I believe it's where it came from.
Because I didn't see any cedar when I was in there yesterday.
Jacob got this one. I mean, we have lots of cedar trees around here, so I would be more inclined to just make my own, but
I don't even know what a cedar tree looks like.
It looks like a beautiful tree of cedar.
Okay.
Anywho, smoked some weed, and I'm very high now. Whew. Hope y'all are partaking as you try to do so.
Is that Joanna?
Ceremoniously. I'm drinking my vegetables.
What are you?
Because all I've eaten is cookies today. No, cookies and soup. I'm doing really bad at avoiding the cookies.
What kind of cookies?
Sugar cookies from QFC. The best ones in the entire universe.
Well, I did
did
find some lemon shortbread cookies at Safeway yesterday. So
I love shortbread cookies.
They're better to me than sugar cookies.
Well, these QFC sugar cookies are just like the best fucking sugar cookies I've ever put in. Mm-hmm. I brought some to one of our meetings.
You did.
So maybe you didn't.
But
maybe
no,
you didn't like them that much.
I didn't try them.
Oh, what?
Hey, haha! I don't know why, but whenever I watch, always choppy.
I guess we're not going to talk about cookies today.
Yeah, we could totally do that.
Normally, we kind of wait for everybody to get on or whatever, but I don't know. I'm just gonna fucking sing. Do you want to do it in C?
Yeah, might as well.
And also,
that's the normal coffin key.
Okay. We're only going to go till 9.
Key.
What was that?
The coffin key.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm sad that I'm not going out tonight.
Did you cut your hair? It looks really different.
I took a shower.
Okay.
You know, it was overdue. I don't know. You want to play? We're going to sing? Yeah. Oh, Jacob's coming.
Okay.
Jacob has coffee and drums and pajamas. Yeah.
I wish I had my pajamas on.
Was what?
I said I wish I had my pajamas on.
Well, you can put them on. We'll watch.
This is not OnlyFans.
Hey. We do accept donations.
What?
I said we do accept donations.
We do.
And just the tip, though.
Yeah. All right, ready?
Is the shooting box loud enough? Should I move it closer? I don't want it to be too loud. Play some. Just hum along or drone or do whatever you like. Just listen. Float your boat. And you feel like trying to experiment with your breath, you can hold your breath on an inhale as long as you can, with as much air in your body as you can, and try to hold it in as long as possible until your body forces you to breathe. And if you do, you may be, if you do it long enough, I guess, or if you are successful enough, you might be able to put yourself into this bliss state. It's really fun. So you should try it. So after you've done it by holding your breath as long as possible on a full inhale, try also holding your breath as long as possible on an exhale and see what gets that for you. Whatever words. Do it. Try it. It's fun. It makes you feel high. If you smoke cannabis first, it makes you feel even more high. And you just have to give yourself permission to make really ugly noises. I got to go into the movies a lot. It's already. It is. Do you want to do the oath and the? I didn't realize how late it was.
I cannot hear you. What?
I didn't realize what time it was.
Well, it's 8:52
Oh
now.
yeah, we're done at 8:30. Okay. Well, I think we should do the fuck, what's
The
that thing called?
mantra, the mantra, man
Mantra.
mantra, the
The
mantra.
mantra and the oath. The
Do you want to
mantra. The mantra.
do you want to do them all together?
Sure. Well, we'll do.
Hold on, let me
I
get
don't
my
know.
water
Maybe just
because I did not. I failed to do that.
your water. Cool. Hello. Oh yeah, we also have a gene key to talk about today.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Ugh.
Kinky 30.
30. The
But I
shadow
have it
of desire.
reviewed because I've been moving stuff.
Jacob, I can't hear over the drum. Was that?
Hi, Jacob.
Hi, Jacob. It's very loud. I guess turn up. There we go. Okay. What were we saying?
I didn't say anything. I just said hi, Jacob.
Oh, hi, Jacob. Oh, I don't. I'm looking for the stupid
Look at
thing,
this.
but I'm not.
Look at this raised
It's
flower.
amazing.
It's alfalfa like.
Very
I have it.
lifelike. Okay. So I suppose you want me to just read the oath, or do you want to say it together?
Oh, where's my? Well, shit. It's on my phone. Hold on a second.
You just say it. You can just to feel it in your brain.
All right. Ready?
Okay. As
As
members of
members of Sound and Shadow
society,
Collective, we are committed to
we have
facilitating our own healing.
own
What?
healing as well as
As
the
healing
healing
of those around us
going
by
on.
this symbolic gesture.
Wait, we hold our
We,
hands at our heart. The cleansers,
we cleanse ourselves of resentment, critical emotions toward ourselves and others, self
self-condemnation,
condemnation,
and
and the habit of assuming the worst about any
about every
situation or being.
situation or feeling. We
We
accept
accept that
that
we create our
we create
own
our own
circumstances consciously
consciously,
and unconsciously,
and we
and we
choose
choose to see every situation
and
and
be
being as a mirror and lesson for our
for
personal
personal
evolution
evolution
toward
toward.
a unified, loving community for the betterment of all and the planet. And so it
So
be.
yeah, get the camera on the floor, so I like have to crouch all kitten like to be.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. My
Ow.
kittens run from the Shruti box. They do not like it.
What? Hmm.
Mm-mm.
It, maybe they'll grow on it, or it'll grow on
Maybe,
them, or whatever.
maybe I'll try like not only playing one octave and seeing if that will help.
Yeah. Well, would you like to do the Gene Key now, or should we just sing some
We
more?
could do it now since we're talking.
Okay, cool. Since we're already here.
And
By the way,
since
15.
that's also on my phone, I can't read it, so you'll have to read it.
Oh, that's cool. I got it.
Okay.
Then what the fuck was I gonna say? I was gonna say, yeah, doesn't matter apparently. All right, Gene Key number 30. The shadow is desire, the gift is lightness, and the city is rapture. We like to read about the shadow part. You're welcome to go and read about the rest of it in the Gene Key book. You can get it on the internet, probably also at the library. And
Christy, what's her name? Christy Ing has a really good, or NG or something. I don't really know how to pronounce. It's INGE.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
good
she has a
Gene Key
really good
stuff.
site for that. So
She has human design,
yeah,
but it's
with
good. Gene
coupled
Keys
with
and human design
G.
are
Yeah,
mixed in together,
yeah,
which is very cool. I
yeah.
think that's why I like them so much. They're so I don't know, interconnected. So the repressive nature is, oh, and actually on the Gene Key website, they always have a little presentation about the Gene Key that's transiting, so you can listen to that for free on their website. It's like the Pulse or something like that. It's on the Gene Key site.
Mm-hmm.
Just look for the Gene Key transit. If you Google Gene Key transit, it'll take you to the transit of the week. Anyway, so right now it is 30, and is the Celestial Fire is the kind of title of the Gene Key. The repressive nature is over serious. When desire is repressed, life force is also repressed, and this leads to a stiffening of one's whole being. Physically, emotionally, and psychologically, we begin to take life very seriously. As we have seen, desire equates to fire and passion. When it isn't allowed to burn within us, our inner fire fizzles out. Many people deal with their desires in this way, particularly in repressive societies and religions. Over-seriousness manifests through religion itself, which almost always imposes moral laws over the tops of our natural desires. One might even go so far as to say that the majority of human civilization has repressed desire and become over-serious. It is the hallmark of our whole modern world. The great fear within the 30th shadow is the fear of being burned by our feelings, a collective fear that has been repressed on a collective level. True feelings unleashed on a collective level might lead to anarchy. What a shame.
But
And
I
the
could totally
fear
see it.
that is held in check by this is, wait, hold on. And that is the fear that is held in check by this aspect of the 30th shadow, that the unleashed desire will create anarchy. But I actually find that for me anyway, when I finally allow myself to embrace my desires, which I don't do very often, but I'm trying to learn how to do more, I find that it makes me happier in all areas of my life. Like, I just indulge in my favorite sugar cookies, and then I feel, I don't know, happier on other levels because I'm not denying myself in a sense, you know? What do you think?
Well, yeah, because it's all about finding that balance between either extreme, you know. So that's where I think that we get lost because we get like it was talking about over seriousness. People, to
Mm-hmm.
me, this is a game, right? It's a game. It's a game.
Yeah, we forget that. And we're like, oh,
And it's very
wait,
easy to
it's not
forget that because all of this seriousness is shoved in our face all the time. They call it news. You know, they
news.
call it they
News
call it
stuff.
light. Like what is it that I'm thinking of? They call it news, and they call it things that you have to do in your life, the things that are required. You have to work this job.
Duty.
You know, it is your duty. It is your responsibility to do these things.
That's the thing in nonviolent communication. Anytime you do anything out of a sense of duty or responsibility or for a reward or for a punishment or what were the other ones? Uh, Out of fear, somebody has to pay for it. So it's like if you're doing something just because you're a people pleaser and you're afraid to say no, then the person that you are doing for is going to feel this undercurrent of, I don't know, discomfort from you that's like an energetic where they're feeling your actual true energy of like you would rather say no, but you're saying yes because you feel guilty or ashamed or feel like you are responsible in some way. So it's like the more closer you can get to your authentic yes and only doing anything if you can do it with the joy of a child feeding a hungry duck, then you shouldn't do anything. And you can basically mindfuck yourself into finding the joy in anything if you have enough willpower.
Existential kink is really good for that.
It's so good
It
because then
is.
we have this whole thing. The whole premise is like having is evidence of wanting. So if something is appearing in your life and you don't like it, you have to figure out on what level am I conjuring this? Because if we are our God, if we are all fragments of God and everything that is happening is perfect, because it's everything is just, in order for God to be a thing, God is omnipresent, right? So it's like the only way to be present in every moment is to be everything. So God is everything,
Mm-hmm.
and every perspective is God. And so I don't remember where I was going with that, but it had to do with something.
Existential kink. Yeah.
When you realize that you are a powerful manifesting being and that you are creating everything in your existence for the purpose of learning something. So even if it's a fucked up thing, like I take full responsibility that I conjured being molested by my father, which I mean, like, it's small potatoes, like problems compared to like getting like bombed in, Palestine, but it's still like, why would I want that for myself? But at the same time, if I wouldn't have experienced that, I wouldn't be who I am, and I wouldn't be able to talk or feel knowledgeably about different perspectives that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't had that experience. So I for me feel that I manifested that so that I can have perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. I
And that there's
didn't
no
go through anything like that, but the one thing that I do not like about myself is my weight. But I'm learning that I can appreciate it where I am. Some part of me manifested that. I have it. Some part of me wanted that. So I fully
safe.
accept that I'm in this body, that I can change it whenever I want to. All I have to do is make the decision to move more, to eat differently, to do whatever.
Put
I
the
have complete
action
control.
and thought.
I have complete control. And so learning how to come at it from an EK sort of like perspective has helped me to be easier on myself. So now, like, the weight is just coming off. Like I had to like sew up 2 pairs of pants today because I could, like, I put them on the other day and they were like falling off of me. So, and I'm not really doing anything different. I just am loving that part of myself and accepting that part of myself
You're thinking differently.
because I'm loving
Thinking different
myself more.
and changing your patterns.
Yeah,
If you're not
I
changing, then
guess.
you're
I mean, I'm
actively
not really doing anything. Like, I'm really not eating any differently or moving any differently.
It's actually from lesson 4 in the BOTA lessons. Or not, sorry, was it 4? Let me look.
Wait, somebody
I
said
can't remember which number.
something. Enjoyed listening. Must go offline for the evening. Thanks, ladies. See you later. Nocturnal zine. I can't really read that. Yeah, nocturnal zine.
Nice to see you. Oh, anyway, it was in here, and it was basically talking about how, I know we're not technically supposed to discuss this, but I'm not giving any details. You'll have to join BOTA if you want to know more. But it was something about thought as action. And it went along with that post I made earlier today about freedom being an action. Anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about, but it's in there. And it, basically, like, you're choosing to change the way you're thinking, and that's changing your
Yeah,
reality.
and that's all that's going on here. All of your thoughts are creating what you're experiencing. Whether you believe that or not, that's really what's happening here. Like, I have proven it in my own life that is really what's happening here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Thoughts
this
create
the key
reality.
though,
And I think there's some
like
science behind that as well. I just can't.
Jacob, if you want to talk, you're gonna have to get closer. Jacob's trying to say something, but I don't know.
I think the gene key, the one thing that it's talking about is a group mindset,
Oh yeah, I was talking about the collective.
and because you're talking about over serious coming from stressors that are created by the society and imposed by the society, and that eventually, those stressors get to a point of over seriousness that leads to anarchy. That's a pretty huge idea as far as building up stressors, uh, within a group collective.
I mean, it's just like a pressure release, where it's like, if it's unconscious, it's going to be acted out unconsciously in like really violent ways, like war.
Right, but
So it's like,
it's
if we can be
everybody's individual responsibility to get out of that mindset or be aware of what is going on, because we all as a collective are contributing to that. So
Mm-hmm.
but it eventually filters down to the individual.
Right. And that's why we're trying to get to the 13%. So if we can reach 13% of the population and get them to think about themselves as creating their reality and to examine the subconscious so that each one of us can raise our subconscious to a level of believing in the goodness, that we can actually shift into a better existence where we can actually lead with love instead of fear and greed. Love and
There's no reason we should be
just,
experiencing these things that that we see every day
no,
that
I
are
believe we can work
unsavory.
together. It takes changing your perspective and not seeing others as the enemy, but it's hard. I know. I've only recently learned how to see other people as not my enemy.
The other thing is, I think it's saying that you have to become serious to become free.
Yeah, serious about being free,
Mm-hmm.
because freedom isn't.
But at the same time, you can get lost in the seriousness of being manipulated. So I think that there's a double-sided thing going on with the
Lost in the
seriousness.
seriousness of being manipulated.
Yeah, because
In
people,
the sense of like the news and Trump
sure, or just the
openly manipulating us.
or just people's daily values that they walk around in,
Yes, it
and then
is difficult, Christopher,
you know,
but it has to be. You got to learn how to do it if you want change. If you don't want
I mean, you don't
change,
have.
just keep. You
You
don't
would
have
like
to.
to
You
say
can do
like
whatever the fuck you
that,
want to do. But if you want
but
to
if
be
you
a
would like
part
to
of
imagine a better future, it might be fun.
it, I think it would be fun to just like,
Yeah,
frolic in the
it's
meadows
like
all day
sci-fi.
and grow your own food and do shit
Let's
that you
go for
actually want to do and
sci-fi.
enjoy your life. I think that that would be really a fun
We can build the
experience.
separation.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So there was so there's this point where I had to like make a choice because I always was like a neutral party. I'm like, I don't really care what happens. I'm actually kind of rooting for the destruction of all humans. And there just came a point where I realized that like when you're actually playing a game, like this, I believe is a game in a sense. When you're playing a game, you have to be committed to something. So you have to make a choice whether you're going to be on the dark side or the light side. And every time I watch a movie, I hate movies and I hate fiction most of the time because it is so unbelievable. Most of it is so unbelievable to me because there's no such thing as a villain. Nobody is a villain. If your only reason for doing something bad is because you're the villain, that's like the shittiest fucking writing. So it's just lazy writing. There's no such thing as a villain. Every single villain is the hero of their own story. So when you realize that there is no such thing as evil, there's just each person trying to do what's best for themselves. And sometimes they're being more or less considerate of others in that process. And that may seem like evil, but really it's just they need to know on a felt level what it means to value another. Yeah. And that's usually what love is supposed to teach us, like love between people. But we confuse love to be that's what only love is supposed to be is you and like one other person. And it's, I don't know, love is supposed to be free.
Love is free.
Yeah. And authenticity is the only frequency above love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love authenticity. I live to be my most authentic self. I encourage everyone that I know to do the same.
Oh, talk about the code switching.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this might end up more of a talking thing than a singing thing. But
Well,
I
you know,
want to share this with people because I want to know people's perspective. So, like, I'm 55. Okay. And in the last like week and a half, I have had more comments about my color than I have ever experienced in my entire life. So, this one particular instance, I was invited to a black only like luncheon thing. And I'm like, I never go to things like that because I totally believe in diversity because I believe in people learning about themselves, about each other. I mean, so if you're invited to something that's a black event, a black run event or whatever, black celebrated or whatever, yes, invite everybody so that everybody can learn about your culture. I don't believe in this black only thing or Asian only thing or white only thing. Like I just don't believe in it. So I wrote back the inviter and I was like, I'm not going to this. And I looked on the internet about why people don't want to go or why people do this, and they say it's because they need a safe space so that they don't have to code switch, they don't have to talk a certain way, they don't have to be anything other than what they are. And I'm like, why? But why is that even a thing? How come you don't feel comfortable walking around the earth just as you are? Like I do not understand that. I walk around the earth just as I am. Just how what you see is what you get. I don't talk differently. There's nothing about me that switches from like a corporate environment to like going to the club or whatever. What you see is what you get with me, and I do not understand why it isn't like that across the board. So I encourage you, if you are not living
I love
your most authentic self, you're missing out on a lot of your life. You really are.
Mm-hmm.
You,
Why would I mean? Usually, I don't like people because I feel like some of them aren't being authentic. I'm like,
Yeah.
God, just be real.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm like, I can't be around that person because they just won't be real. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I mean,
that's
it's
why I
huge, and it
like.
makes you feel better when you can just fully step into your authenticity and be you. What are you
Mm-hmm.
afraid of? What do you think is going to happen if you just be you?
the society.
You might get
You
loved,
you,
and then if
you
somebody
might
loves
get
you, you're
loved a
like,
whole fucking
oh,
lot.
no.
Your life might
Yeah,
change for the better, because I know that
it's good.
when I fully stepped into my authenticity, then like my life changed for the better. What? Oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
this speaks to my PDX experience. There is fear and some kind of latent need for exclusivity. Hmm.
Mm.
I go
We can
elsewhere
all
and
just get a
everyone.
bong.
What'd you say?
I said we can all just get a
Get a
bong,
bomb?
and get
No,
along. Get
get a
along.
bomb. I go elsewhere and everyone wants to just share. I don't get that last part, Christopher. What is that? Can you clarify that? But yeah, like I fully support anybody who's like hesitant to walk into their authenticity. Come talk to me. Come talk to
Mm-hmm.
me. I will
Ditto.
fully support you. I got
Gotcha.
your back. Okay, I got your back. Just speaking
Mm-hmm.
to what you said. Okay,
Oh, I'm gonna read the repressive nature one more time because I feel
okay.
like we have some. Oh, sorry. Oh, I had a really intense bong hit a second ago. Anyway, um, the repressive nature is over serious. When desire is repressed, life force is also repressed, and this leads to a stiffening of one's whole being, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. We begin to take life very seriously. As we have seen, desire equates to fire and passion. When it isn't allowed to burn within us, our inner fire fizzles out. Many people deal with their desires in this way, particularly in repressive societies and religions. Over-seriousness manifests through religion itself, which almost always imposes moral law over the top of our natural desires. One might even go so far as to say that the majority of human civilization has repressed desire and become over-serious. It is the hallmark of our whole modern world. The great fear within the 30th shadow is the fear of being burned by our feelings, a collective fear that has been repressed on a collective level. True feelings unleashed on a collective level might lead to anarchy. That is the fear that is held in check by the aspect of the 30th shadow. Yeah.
Oh, what'd you say about the double-edged sword of keeping
Mm.
safe spaces? Yeah, every place should be every place should be safe. You should feel safe walking in around the earth. I mean, I feel safe walking around the earth. But I've always felt safe walking around the earth. I've
I'm learning
never,
to feel
huh? What'd you say?
I'm learning to feel
Yeah.
I'm learning.
You know,
It's
I'm
taken a
just,
while. I
yeah.
don't even
And
carry a
sometimes it does
knife
take.
anymore.
What'd you say?
I used, I used to carry a knife everywhere, and I would just have it ready to stab in someone's face if I needed to. And I stopped doing that. So maybe I should start doing it again now that I just told the internet that I don't carry a knife anymore. Okay, I'm carrying a knife. I'm fully willing to stab it in your face with love and light. Don't
Well,
try me.
and even though I'm like I don't walk around in fear, I still feel like people shouldn't be walking around by themselves. If you need to go somewhere and you have to walk, by all means take somebody with you. These are very volatile times that we're living in. We don't know what the fuck is going to happen and who's going to jump out. I mean, I've been called out for my color of my skin like the past week. That's never happened to me. Like maybe once when I was like a kid, somebody called me the N word in my, and it's like that shit doesn't happen in my life, but it happened last week. But I'm still not afraid to go out anywhere. But I'm not gonna go by myself.
Mm.
You know, I will
Oh.
have somebody with me, especially if I'm
You
walking
just let me know.
somewhere. What?
I got you.
Yeah, we got
I will
each
be
other.
with you as much as possible.
Community.
Yeah.
That's what community is for.
If anybody lays a finger on my butterfinger.
Knife in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. But I
Yeah,
mean,
what's that comment? I can't see it. I was invited to a party because I was recognized as an authentic person. Someone at the party asked others what my problem was and why I was trying so hard. I believe they were afraid of real
yeah.
people. I mean, you can believe anything you want about whatever anybody's thinking, but it'll always be a belief unless you just go and ask them, what's
That's
that
true.
about?
That is
What
true.
makes you say that?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
You have to ask people.
Yeah, that's the only way to really know. I
Hmm.
mean, I've gotten into trouble assuming what other people are thinking and making these ideas of that I know, like that I even understand what's in another person's mind, and it's gotten me into so many confusions and just messes. So it's like it's better to just ask everybody what they actually think.
Hmm. If
Fear
you want to know.
of judgment.
Fear of judgment
Fear of judgment within your surroundings.
within your
Yeah.
surroundings. What do you mean by that, Jacob?
Well, I think that's the heart that like going back to, why people need spaces so that they don't have to code switch.
Mm.
So they seem to obviously be walking through society and walking with other people, holding back their authentic selves, like you're saying, because of the fear that they have of the society's judgment on them.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
It is sad.
Continue that I mean, we do endure that, and we put each other through it, and we put ourselves through it without even wanting it.
Yeah.
And
It's the
I think
conditioning.
because of the over seriousness, like that over seriousness that leads to all of a sudden it becoming a religion and then morals being imposed on it. There's something that, feels so pure about it, but then all of a sudden you start seeing that it's deforming the true nature and spirit of everyone, and that's to want to be free and loved.
I act inauthentically when I want something because I'm afraid of wanting things. So, like, remember when we got to the bridge space and there's that piano, and I was like, "Oh my God, I want to go
Yeah.
play the
And you
piano,"
should
but I was
have
afraid I was
just
going
went
to get
over
in
there and
trouble.
played it.
I was afraid someone was
Yeah.
going to yell at me. Excuse me, you're not allowed to play that. I'm like,
Okay, then let them, yeah, ask, do what you needed. We have, what is the saying? Ask forgiveness. It's better to,
I know, but sometimes I get in trouble when I just do and I ask for forgiveness after
I
I do
mean, okay. And then
it.
what? But at least you got to do the thing that you wanted, you and now
Why
you
are you
have to wait
shining a light?
until we go back there to do it. When you could have done it the
Oh,
other
no,
day.
and I'm still going to be too shy because then somebody might hear me play it, and that's the worst part. I just want to be alone with the piano with nobody else.
I don't know whenever that's going to happen. So
Oh, it happens. There's some people who have them in their houses, and then I house sit for them, and I'm like, oh my God, you gotta play your
oh my
piano.
God, but it's not
So
the
exciting.
bridge space piano.
I don't care. A piano's a piano. I don't give a fuck. Any piano will do. It
Whatever.
just has to be, no, I prefer the ones that are just like the actual, not the electric ones, the real,
The
the
real,
real instrument
do you prefer a
parts.
grand piano or does it not make a difference?
Just as long as it's an actual, you know, a living being, I guess, not a electronic. Jacob is shining lights and camera at
I was
me.
wondering I was like, that's a cool filter.
It's Jacob. Jacob's a cool filter.
That's true.
Anywho, shall I read the reactive
Yeah.
nature? All right. The reactive nature of desire is flippant.
Flippant.
Those people in the world who indulge their desires without care always run the very real risk of being ostracized by society. They cannot subscribe to any moral framework and abhor all forms of religion or imposed control. They then become flippant about life as a reaction to that society. The result is that they often become embittered by the projections of the world and lash out by abandoning themselves even further into their desires. Just as the repressed nature wants to end desire through controlling it, the reactive nature wants to end desire through exhausting it. The result of this is that such people burn themselves out, and often early in life. By totally externalizing all your desires, you are in fact becoming their victim. This kind of flippancy is akin to paganism, the extreme pole to organized religion. Just as one is a repression, the other is a reaction. Very interesting. I'm going to read it
Yes,
again.
please.
Cool. All right. Reactive nature, flippant. Those people in the world who indulge their desires without care always run the very real risk of being ostracized by society. They cannot subscribe to any moral framework and abhor all forms of religion or imposed control. They then become flippant about life as a reaction to that society. The result is that they often become embittered by the projections of the world and lash out by abandoning themselves even further into their desires. Just as the repressed nature wants to end desire through controlling it, the reactive nature wants to end desire through exhausting it. The result of this is that such people burn themselves out, and often early on in life. By totally externalizing all your desires, you are in fact becoming their victim. This kind of flippancy is akin to paganism, the extreme pole to organized religion. Just as one is a repression, the other is a reaction. Very curious. What do you think about that, Jacob?
I think it makes sense.
It's like an itch, and you just say, I'm just going to completely just remove my skin so that I don't have to itch ever again.
Well, I think, right. To the extreme,
Yeah.
right? Where it's like you've already gone past that.
Extinguish it, it says.
Yeah, you're past that
just
point.
bomb
You need
it.
to rip the skin
Just
off.
bomb the thing, just, scorched earth.
God. Yeah.
It's extreme. But that's what it's supposed to be, is the extremes. One of them is denying your desire, and the other is entertaining
Going
every
all
single
out.
desire.
Going balls out with your desires.
Balls out.
Just
Balls
reading
out.
it, I think, makes me think of immediately makes me think of walking a middle path, or that it seems like walking
A
a
middle
middle.
path?
Yeah, walking a middle path, and
In what sense?
a balance.
Yeah, you must
Because
have a
part of,
balance.
it's a lack of balance that leads to that kind of flippancy,
Right. Well, I mean, extreme poles.
Yeah.
There's the complete denial and the complete abandon of.
And push to that over seriousness that all of a sudden turns it into one thing without any of the rest. So all of a sudden, you forget about your mom, completely, because it's all about your dad,
Yeah.
so to speak. Like when I think about like how the hell does a Nazi party become? Like I feel like it's a bunch of people that all of a sudden forget about their mom and
Yeah,
decide that dad.
where did they lose the empathy for
Yeah.
another human being? That's, like another living being even. Like
Mhm.
where at what point did was it decided in the big scheme
It's
of
the
their
illusion
thing?
of the
Yeah.
separatism.
Yeah. And
And I
and
think,
why and
and I
how
think,
and how did
They
they forget, and
others, it's
how
fear.
does that keep propagating? Like I don't
They're
get
afraid
it.
that somebody's going to take something from you. And so before they take it from you, you have to take from them. It's like leaving somebody before they leave you or whatever.
that is
Okay, I
also
see
like
it.
that. You were also saying something about the desires being external, and so like, and it's all about fulfilling external desires instead of seeking an internal
Validation.
fulfillment.
Yeah.
So that's that opposite too. That is like, and I don't. Well, I don't want to push what we see in culture right now, but I mean, it definitely seems like culture is doing that on both sides. It wants to fulfill something, that's that is almost becomes a caricature of what we actually want to fulfill. Not
Well, it's
so
kind of like
much
we
what
want
you'll
to
get
fulfill it, but
from
we don't actually want to. It's kind of like dressing slutty, but not actually being a slut, and then getting mad at somebody.
it. Or maybe
It's
because
like, well, you
when
had your booty hanging out. Did you not want me
Right.
to hit on you? I mean,
do you think sometimes I wonder if
that's what I say to myself because I have my booty hanging out and people hit on me. I'm like, why are they hitting on me?
I mean, but yeah, you
Show
have
up.
to accept that and expect that that's going to happen and be okay with that.
Yeah, and then you just hope you can weird them out
Yeah.
so that they
Yeah.
regret
Do
hitting on you.
whatever,
And they're like, oh
defense
no.
mechanisms that you need to, stave off that stuff, but just don't be walking out with your booty hanging out and expecting that nobody's going to hit on you. Like that makes absolutely
Yeah,
no sense.
it's okay. I can take responsibility for my reality, but that's also why I mostly dress like a nun.
So you're
I'm a nun on the
slutty underneath
outside.
the nunnery most of
Yeah,
the
I have a
time.
slutty.
Yeah.
It's just a very hidden by all my robes. It's that scene from Detroit Rock City when the dirty priest is asking, he's in the confessional booth trying to get him to confess like dirty secrets, and he won't let him leave until he's like, what was she wearing under the bridesmaid dress?
Hey,
Anyway.
Meadow.
Yeah. Meow, meow. Anywho, so we did that. Do
Yeah.
you want to talk about it? Shadows that you have lurking in here, or
See,
does anybody?
this is why next time we do this, we're gonna have to do a Zoom call because we can't. And
I know.
yeah, we didn't think about that.
Next time, we're gonna pick
Living and
that up.
learning. We're learning this thing, y'all.
Yeah. All right. I guess. Do you want to sing some more?
We can. It's 9:30.
Oh shit. I guess we were gonna be done at 9:30. Well, we still have to say the mantra too.
Okay, well, let's sing some more, and then we'll put the mantra, and then we'll end this thing.
Yeah. Okay. So like 10 minutes, or who knows how
Or
long we'll
yeah,
go.
whatever. Just
Laugh
as
at
long
me
as it goes.
when you're done. Sometimes I get really lost in my trance.
Okay. Well.
Oh boy. I got my heating pad. Oh, it's the best. I have a cat throwing a bomb on my shirt. Grenade, I guess. My sister got me this shirt a long time ago. It's a little too colorful for me, so I never wear it out of the house, but it's just black with this white cat on it. But anywho, it's very colorful.
Ready?
Yeah. Everyone say the mantra. Mantra. Yeah.
Go ahead.
We fully receive and reciprocate.
We fully receive and reciprocate.
The abundance required.
The abundance required.
Match the energy.
To match the energy.
Be free and
To
whole.
be free and whole.
In our safety.
In our safety.
Our sexuality.
Sexuality.
Our emotions. Our centeredness.
Our centeredness.
Our intuition.
Our intuition.
Our desires.
Our desires.
Spirits.
Our spirits.
And our community.
And our community.
Okay, we're gonna say it 2 more times, and the last one you just try to see how high you can go, because everybody wants to get just a little higher, I think. And on the last one we'll see how low we can go. So, all right, 1 hand up, 1 hand down. We fully receive and reciprocate.
We fully receive and reciprocate.
Abundance required.
The abundance required.
The energy.
To match the energy.
To be free and whole.
To be free and whole.
In our sexuality.
In our sexuality.
Our emotions.
Our emotions. You've got
our centeredness. Our intuition.
Our intuition.
Our desires.
Our desires.
Our spirits.
Our spirits.
And our community. Alright, last one. Alright, last one. We say it with a smile. We fully receive and reciprocate.
We fully receive and reciprocate.
The abundance required.
The abundance required.
Match the energy. To be free and whole.
To be free and whole. In our safety.
Our sexuality.
In our sexuality.
Our emotion.
Our emotion. And our centeredness.
Our desires.
Our desires. Our spirit.
And our community. Wow. I really wish this cold would go away.
Cool.
Anywho,
Thanks y'all for joining us.
I've been saying for a while, so if you sang with us, you have gotten like the equivalent of 6 hours of sleep for every 15 minutes that you sang. So congratulations. You don't have to sleep ever again.
Just sing with us.
Yeah. Anyway, normally we do this at Coffin Club, but it's snowing, so we're not there.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe next week we will be there. Yeah. All right. See you later.
Y'all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Loves you.
Love you.
Oh, my cat's stayed in. Bye.
What? Bye. Oh, look at those ones. Hello, wishers.
Sugar crumbs.
Sugar crumbs. Oh, hello. Oh, wait, good morning. Fun, sexy little sugar crumbs.
Good morning. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a. All right, bye.
Remove, yes. I don't know how this works.